Hi guys, it's Mukami and welcome to your favorite political show, Mukami. But first things first, let's do a highlight of tonight's big topics. And we are still playing around with money, the scandals. I think we should just change this show to a scandal show. We are going to focus on the arrest and the arraignment in court of the National Youth Service scandal suspects, as well as focus on the tree seedlings scandal, and also a $3 billion National Lands Commission stroke standard gauge railway scandal. But first, let's do a recap of last week's discussions where we took out na focus ile handshake ya Raila na Uhuru ambayo imesend jitters down the spines of Camp ya Ruto, who think that Raila is looking at ways of finding political survival through the handshake. But that topic was today handled by the president, and I'll quote him on what he said. Raila Odinga is a Kenyan. I have a right to talk to everybody. My aim and that of my deputy, William Ruto, is to unite all Kenyans. I have no problem with anyone. That is why we are here today with Honorable Babu Owino, George Aladwa, and Jubilee leaders too. My focus is Mwananchi. End of quote. But then, even as the president puts in his deputy William Ruto in the mix, we know that Ruto is focused on the 2022 succession politics. And as he's focused on those politics, his farmers back in the Rift Valley are complaining. You remember the NCPB scandal, which broke out just last week, where about 2 billion shillings worth of farmers' money went into private people pockets, watu wenye hawakusupply maize kwa NCPB. So here Ruto is focusing on 2022 politics and his survival, but then the farmers who elected him in Rift Valley wanasuffer because pesa yao hawajui kwenye iko. But then these are the same farmers wenye walikuwa wanaimba Jubilee tena. So who is to blame? Is it them or is it the leaders that they elect? Now, it seems like these days Kenyans wanakula scandals. Now, we are now still focused on the NYS scandal. Mkumbuke, about 9 billion worth of taxpayers' money imeenda kwa people's pockets. And sijui kama ni kutufumba macho ama ni nini, there have been arrests, I can say fake arrests, of suspects when you are made hizo pesa. You saw them, they were arraigned in court. But then there are so many questions that beg that I myself am asking myself, like, is the government focused on really arresting these people, arraigning them in court, ama it's just cosmetic surgery yenye wanatuonyesha? First of all, ujue, there have been so many scandals in the past. One of them is Golden Bag scandal, Anglo leasing, NYS Part 1 yenye ilikuwa involve Kafura and Waiguru, but nobody, hakuna mtu hata yote mwenye amearestiwa or their assets have been seized to recover the money. There's no way even 1 billion shillings can escape from your department and then isemekane we hujui. All you are doing is you are lining up junior people who have no blame, but then the big shots tunawaachilia. In fact, wana watch TV kama sisi. So those who've been arrested, including mwenye alikuwa anauza hewa, and Giriti is just a decoy. I think it's a decoy. My take is the government, if it's serious, should go for all the suspects when you are shaitajwa in all scandals, zenye nimesema za Golden Bag, Anglo leasing, NYS Part 1. If they go for this one, we are so sure that even this NYS Part 2, the government is committed to fight. Otherwise, no. I'm just tired of this country. No, hata hatujamaliza scandals zenye zimetufuata for the last 2 weeks, we still have more scandals coming through. It's as if Kenyans eat scandals. Well, now this one involve around 2 billion shillings. Na hii ni scandal ya miti. Now this scandal, it's the president's own initiative. He said that he's determined to improve forest cover ya the country. So he gave out 2 billion worth of taxpayers' money kutumika kwa mashule so that schools may plant trees to improve the forest cover. First of all, the issue of planting trees si mbaya because trees do a lot in our environment. But then the implementation or how this project and good initiative has been implemented is what begs the question. Because the whole initiative was supposed to be rolled throughout the whole country, in all schools throughout the whole country. But only 205 schools, the whole country, hizo ndizo zimemanage kupitishwa hiyo initiative. Hii ni kumaanisha, among the 205 schools, a school has 100,000 seedlings, tree seedlings. How much is that? That's 10 million. Kumaanisha those 205 schools, walitumia hiyo 2 billion na ikaisha. Me, I'm wondering, what kind of trees are these? You remember kuna ile issue ilikuwaga ya carcinogenic wheelbarrows. There was the issue of very expensive curtains that our county governors were buying. Now here, there's a very expensive tree. I'm wondering, what kind of tree is this? Is this the tree of life? Is this the Mogumo tree? I don't know. Maybe mnisaidie could discuss the issue, because there's no way a tree seedling can cost 20,000. So, in terms of the tree seedling scandal, we are holding the Kenya Forestry Services so that they can be able to explain how comes a seedling can cost 20,000, while else another seedling can cost about 50 shillings. What's the difference there? They need to come out clearly and explain to Kenyans what kind of game they are playing. Still on the same subject, another questions that Kenyans are asking themselves is why the CAS, Tobiko, has forwarded the names of the culprits to ASCC for investigations, while we know that Tobiko was the public prosecutor, the government public prosecutor, when this scandal was happening, yet he never pointed it out. Still on matters corruption, let's focus on an issue involving land. I know that land is a very emotive topic in Kenya, and this time the scandal is involving the National Land Commission and the Kenya Railways. Remember when the construction SGR was happening, there were families who were displaced from their places to allow for the construction of the railway line, and the government was supposed to compensate them. 2 years later, no compensation. Complaints from the same families, but only 4 companies have been compensated. The 4 companies are Miritini Freeport, Gea International, Port Creek, and African and Oil Company Limited. Sasa watu wanajiuliza, especially the victims, that is the 26 families who were displaced, when is the government going to pay them? They are asking the National Land Commission to come out clear na explain why they had to award, or rather to compensate only 4 companies and then leave out all the other people involved. Swazuri and his commission should come out, explain to the victims when they should be paid, and also why they had, what kind of procedure they applied in choosing the first 4 companies to be compensated and not the genuine landowners. It seems also like there's a systematic kind of looting being done by the government, because if you look at this case, look at the NCPB, look at the NYS, all these cases have a certain connection in terms of there's a systematic way of doing things. One is paying the wrong people and leaving out the genuine Kenyans who should be paid. Swazuri and his commission have a very big role and responsibility to explain to Kenyans what kind of monkey business is happening in the commission. My take on tonight's topics is, we as Kenyans need to converse around the issue of corruption. We've talked about the issue of corruption for so long, yet we don't see any action being done. We've left it out to the leaders to decide, or rather to chart the way forward on what we should do with corruption, other than we as citizens coming to the table and charting the way forward. Maybe it's time we introduce radical decisions in terms of handling this monster called corruption, like the one Sabina Chege suggested, that any Kenyan found corrupt should be shot. That's our own opinion, but maybe we need such more radical views to cut out this monster called corruption. Anyway, thanks so much for watching the show. Subscribe to Mukami and see you next time. Bye.